Hello, welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot. I'm so glad you guys are here. It's not a coincidence that you found this reading, that you're here with me now. I'm so grateful that you chose to click on this video if you're new here. And just also so thankful for my current subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And welcome new subscribers. Okay, and anyone else who is just here to listen to this one reading and hear the message. So yeah, I've been taking notes this morning about the energy that's coming through. This feels like a collective energy, a collective that I belong to also, or else, I mean, you wouldn't be here, right? So I feel like I should pull cards as I'm going down my list. That was, and maybe even I'm seeing the charms. So I think I will pull some charms to start off with and runes. And we'll try to keep this short and sweet and quick because I know, but I don't know. I don't know. It's really what I really believe, right? It's really up to me. So let's pull some runes for your message today. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why do I keep seeing this symbol? You could be seeing a symbol similar to this. Looks like this. I feel like it would be this way, but I don't know. You could just be seeing. It looks like a hourglass, right? Yeah, it looks like an hourglass. Let's read this one first. Just noticing. Where did I see this symbol? I saw it earlier today. Wow, this symbol feels like sticking out. Anything that's like that, I don't know. Something about the X. Okay, it says breakthrough, awakening, awareness, daylight, clarity, as opposed to nighttime uncertainty. That's very interesting because we'll get to my list, but time to plan or embark upon an enterprise. The power of change directed by your own will, transformation, hope, happiness, the ideal, security and certainty, growth and release, balance point, the place where opposites meet. It says it cannot be reversed. It's actually, I don't think I remember, it says day or dawn, dagaz. So the sun could be standing out to you in some way, shape, or form, because the sun was very bright this morning and I never took note of that. But I remember I had some kind of question about it. I feel like I need to say it right now before I forget, because I almost forget. So something about forgetting or remembering or forgetting. But I think I remember when I was driving, so that's when I noticed the sun was real bright and I had my visor down and I thought, well, I don't want to fully shade myself from the sun because for some reason deep down inside I have this belief. Okay, it doesn't make it true or anything, but something to me. So that could be relevant right now, beliefs, okay? But for some reason to me, my belief is that the sun is healing, and that this is just my belief, okay guys, that some people do sun gazing, don't stare straight into the sun, but I always drive that direction towards the east in the morning, and so the sun would be hitting me right in the morning, and I always feel some kind of personal connection when I feel like I just energetically allow it to penetrate my energy, my forehead, it just feels so nice, right? So something about that, okay, coming through, and I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, but don't go staring off into the sun and ruining your eyesight or something, you know. But actually, I have heard that, and I don't know if this is true. I'm not a doctor, okay, or any kind of like, you know, physician. Of seek a real person, medical person who knows what they're talking about, okay. What is it, an ophthalmologist? Are they? I don't know. So person who deals with the eyes. I feel like I'm totally off with that, but yeah, seek that kind of information. You know who actually would be a good, and she is a doctor, but I don't know, she's not an eye doctor, but she's a, I feel like I'm getting off track here. She's a OBGYN. Her name is Courtney Hunt, but she does talk a lot about like the sun and healing. Oh, and she has something to do with hiking. And I was getting like, what is that? Hiking? Walks or hikes? There's something about goats, like climbing mountains. Maybe you're doing that, okay? I feel like I'm touching on that now. But there's something about that, like goats, the way they climb, a mountain. I don't know. And then there's something about, yeah, like nature and getting outdoors, getting that vitamin D from the sun. It just feels like hikes in general too. Like, I just feel like I'm seeing somebody that's wearing like hiking gear of some sort, like something that would be like specific towards hiking. Like maybe you own gear for hiking, something like that. Okay. Okay, so let's get back. It says, daggers cannot be reversed, but may lie in opposition. A completion ending limit, coming full circle, blindness, and hopelessness. That's so weird that I said it was talking about the sun and how it could, you know. So like some believe it's healthy for you, and some believe it's not. So I feel like that's coming through, right? And I also feel like beliefs are very personal also, and I feel like, honestly, I feel like beliefs can affect us personally also. Yeah. Looks like we have a giraffe. The giraffe is coming, mark in my hand. The giraffe is coming off as, I don't know, reaching things that others can't see. Like, it's just the fact that their neck is so tall, they could see, they could reach the top of, you know, like very high trees. And I can just see the picture of, like in my mind's eye, the giraffe with his silly tongue, you know, wrapping around the branch and pulling the leaves off. And I think there's some, like, I feel like I've seen the giraffe eating off of branches that have like thorns, but somehow their tongue is able to like maneuver around the branch, and it doesn't bother them somehow. Like these really long thorns, I don't know what kind of like tree it would be. So like the tree is coming off as like knowledge, so you're able to wrap your tongue maneuver, I don't know, maybe you maneuver with your tongue. So there was something coming through about the tongue also in my list, like the power of words. Okay, so you could be like a singer, a healer, some kind of like person who prophesies. You could be like me, you could be very into words and the power of speaking. You know, and there's something about not wasting some kind of like talent, okay? But it's very like, it's coming off as like very, because of the tall giraffe, like you're able to do things that not everybody can do. I think it's because of your belief power, your ability to reach certain states. Maybe like, even like, it's giving like Mariah Carey and like Whitney Houston. I think I've said this before in another reading. I wish I could remember what reading that was, but like even the Eiffel Tower is coming off of that. Like something, you're able to reach feats that not everybody can reach. There's like some sort of like magnificence to your energy, okay? Yeah, and the goat is coming through too. I was picking up on the goat. It's like, you could even, yeah, with the airplane. Maybe it's like, maybe you're a pilot. You know, I'm sorry, that was the weirdest laugh ever. But like, maybe you're a pilot and you're able to reach, you know, I don't know, maybe you're a special type of pilot. It's giving like that movie. It's also giving Navigator. That movie, you guys remember Navigator? With the alien and the spaceship, the boy. It was on 4th of July. Why is 4th of July coming through? So there's something about, yeah, like beliefs too. So I think it was, this is like, I know this stuff feels like so off track and like random, but they always have something to do with your readings. So you know that guy from Dawson's Creek, the blonde guy? I'm having the worst trouble remembering his name, but I follow him on Instagram, and I think he's like healing from cancer right now. And whenever I see his post, I always stop to listen to what he has to say, because he seems to have such like profound like truth and mental clarity, and I'm just find it like, wow, with all this stuff that he's going through, how he's able to come through with such wisdom. And he's very much like a family guy. Beautiful family. But he's the blonde guy, one of the main characters from, gosh, why am I having trouble remembering his name? But he's from Dawson's Creek. If you're from that time, you know who I'm talking about. And oh God, that really eats me up that I can't, hold on. His name is James Vanderbeek. Yeah, him. Okay, so, and now I'm like, I lost what I was saying. Yeah, like he just has some like truth and wisdom, but why was he coming through? Why did I mention him? Oh, 4th of July. Okay, so I'm watching him talk about the new year. And how he really feels like we're in a winter period, so this should be like your healing time. We should be resting and healing, and you know, we're in winter, right? So something about like he was talking about why, well, just wondering why we go against seasons. You know, like when this, and this comes through with the sun energy too, like coming through as like pushing against, like willing against, like why do we do that when this should be, we should be like following nature, right? And doing what nature is showing us like intuitively to do. So that's what he was talking about. And 4th of July is coming through because I was talking about the Navigator, and I think that's when, I don't know what this has to do with your reading, but I think that's when he the boy he went missing from, I think it was 4th of July. It was dark. He went through the woods. Somehow he was like, he ended up in like an alien spaceship, right? And he was missing. And then he shows back in a different time. Everybody's like all grown up, and he was like still young, like he never aged. Oh my God, what is this? I love the way Spirit works. So, but there was something about that coming through too. My man, my body. My man, my body. Oh, not my body, my baby. Why my body? But so there could be something about my body. We'll just take note. Also coming through. This could be like some kind of like maturing, but it was like my man, my baby. It was from some song, and it was on when I was running errands. My baby, my man, my baby, or something. Like, I don't know who sings that song, but they just kept repeating that part over and over and over again. I just found it so odd that it was like, I just found it so odd for some reason, and it just kept standing out to me. So there could be something about that, like somebody growing up into a man, or something to do with a parent, maybe describing or noticing somebody who's growing up, maybe this could be even like somebody who's like getting taller, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. And then the 4th of July, why? I know you're like, why are you bringing up James Vanderbeek, right? What does he have to do with the 4th? So he was talking about the spring and winter, and why are we celebrating the beginning of the year when it's winter still? Spring should be the beginning of the year, right? Like the new year, he was saying. That's when everything comes to life again. Something like that. And I think it was, there was a comment in the comment section, and someone said, I always think of 4th of July as my beginning of the year, she said. But that's just me, she said. So there's something also about beliefs, what you believe, what you feel, what you're drawn to. I don't know. It's just really standing out to me because I feel like those are my kind of people. Like, I like people who are really thought-provoking, you know, and they don't just like, they listen to themselves. So you could even be like listening to yourself. You're learning, I have this list too, you're learning to like trust yourself. And there's something about also, like, maybe you didn't trust yourself for the longest time. Yeah, there's something about that. Like, you're learning to trust yourself again, which not being able to trust yourself for some reason, when you chose to listen to something, maybe it felt like against like your better judgment or against your, it doesn't even feel like it's something like super big. It could have been like, yeah, some kind of like choice you made. It could have been like, maybe you chose to go to school for one thing, and then when you really wanted to go to school for something else, maybe you chose a job for for self-sufficiency versus like creativity, or maybe some kind of like artistic potential, or something that you were like enthusiastic about, and then because you went for something else, it kind of like laid some kind of like feeling of like burden, or maybe just a lot of weight on your shoulders. So there's something also about that coming through. I feel I'm gonna make note of that, but like something about like maybe even you're just like your back and shoulders get sore for some reason. Your posture could have even changed over time, something like that. I'm even getting like an accident maybe that could have happened to somebody with their back. Something like that. So it just feels like energy that's taken a toll on you over time. Like over time. Okay. Yeah. All right. And this energy also feels like, yeah, reaching higher states of frequency, of energy that maybe others don't dare to go. So it's like, and then this Eiffel Tower is like standing. I don't know why I'm seeing it this way, but I feel like the Eiffel Tower is like down here is like the choice made, which kind of like stabilized this tower. So it feels like a choice. Then there was another level where you integrated certain parts of yourself, right? And then the next level is like only some would dare to, most people would stay here where it's not so high, where it's safe. And then you've decided to, I don't know, reach your way to the top somehow, right? Something that only you could do. And Yeah. Something like that coming through. And there's definitely something about like a clarity, a clarity, which it almost feels like a cleanliness or a cleaning, or like just something becomes very clear, which in the dark you felt like not as clear or clean, or I don't know what that's about. It'd be like in a dark room of floors, and then suddenly the window shines through and you're like, wow, actually this looks really nice. So there's something like an illumination, maybe even like a different view or seeing things differently, something like that. Yeah, it feels like clarity. Okay. Now I feel like I was supposed to be pulling cards and I haven't even touched on these, but I feel like there's symbolism for something, just not quite sure. Then we have handmade. Yeah, you could do something with your hands. This energy is like giving mail. Energy with the, with the mustache. Somebody could have recently, like, I don't know, maybe you're deciding whether you want to grow facial hair or not grow facial hair. Or maybe you're trying to grow facial hair, because it's coming through with My Man, My Baby, that song. Okay, and then somebody's body. So something like that. Then we have handmade. The handmaid is coming off as like a decision that somebody, it just feels like when someone's like, it's reminding me of like, you know, like if someone, if you know, like back in the day, like this did never happen to me or anything, but like if when children were in trouble, I just feel like, or no, it's that game. Is it the game? Well, I don't know. I guess teachers did smack kids' hands when they were younger, like, I don't know, like way back in the day. They don't do that now. But it really feels like that game where you put your hands out and then someone, like, you have to pull them away like that. So it feels like that, like somebody was like, has been like, what is that energy coming from? So it feels like it's stemming from that energy of learning to like trust yourself, okay? And taking chances. Yeah, so, and there could be like this back and forth energy of something that maybe you're trying to do for yourself. There's like a hesitancy, like feeling with that, okay? Something like that. We have this like shell. I feel like the shell is really giving me like, like shell, like empty shell, right? Empty, it feels like peace. Maybe that's because this is like the outline of a dove, so it's like void of peace. Like you could feel like, yeah, like whatever is led you to some kind of like void of like peace in your life. So maybe that could be like prompting you to take a chance. It feels like taking a chance on something. There's also something about, and this is so very freaking random, a cube. I was gonna say buses, but I don't know why I'm talking about the cube now. But I was gonna say buses. Like you could be noticing buses, particularly like short buses, like an unusual amount. So like there's something about like, like it almost feels like a collective of people who you know, like buses fill more like a lot of people, right? You could fit a lot of people on a bus. It feels like a school bus, right? But the shorter buses are standing out. But there's a lot of these like shorter buses now. I don't know. So like smaller collectives. smaller collectives of people. And there's something about like, don't dim your light to fit in. Okay, the people who have hidden talents that are like rising to the surface. Okay, it feels like what does this say? Perfect timing. And then wait. The situation will improve. It's up to you. Look at all these. Ask your angels and unlikely. Why? Why so many, Spirit? Perfect timing. This is giving like that hourglass, right? So there could be like a breakthrough that's going to, it says breakthrough, right? Awakening, awareness with the dagas, daylight clarity as opposed to nighttime uncertainty, a time to plan or embark upon an enterprise, the power of change directed by your own will, transformation, hope, happiness, the ideal, security, certainty, growth, release, balance point, the place where opposites meet. So, and it's turned over. I feel like it's supposed to be turned over on its side. Okay, so that's where this cube energy is coming through. This cube energy. The situation that will improve is coming through with like this empty feeling of like peace, okay? This emptiness, right? Because there's dolphins here. It's just giving like the shell, like the ocean, right? Okay. To ask your angels and then unlikely. It says it's up to you. It's up to you. I feel like it's like you need to know not to like it's giving that energy of learning to trust yourself, okay? When you ask outside of yourself, it's like, it feels like it's more unlikely, okay, to happen. It's giving that like hesitancy, like, oh, maybe I should ask, maybe I should I do this, should I do that? It's giving that and there's something about energy coming through, like, say when you wake up in the morning and you kind of like have like this, you're not really like awake all the way. I actually felt like that this morning, and so many things always flood in when I'm in that state, so I don't really like know what's happening or what's gonna come through. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not really like in the mood to be like questioning or judging or wondering, so things seem to like come through a lot easier for me. So there's something about that, not questioning and allowing that's been coming up a lot lately. Just writing notes here. Because, so here's an example of something that happened this morning. Like these things are happening all the time. Like you're just either aware or not aware of it. But so I was wandering around with my kids this morning. Had to stop by and pick up some things from the grocery store. I feel like I was and this is a grocery store I'm like always visiting. I'm there all the time. It's like our neighborhood type grocery store. And so I know my way around very well, actually. But I was like in this like state of like a daze. I was still super tired. And I turned down the wrong aisle. My kids were like, Mom, what are you doing? it's on this aisle. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I must have stood out to the one of the employees, because she asks me, you guys need help with it, finding anything? And I was like, oh no, we're fine. I'm just not fully awake and whatever, right? So that was going on, and my kids thought it was hilarious. They're like, yeah, wake up, Mom. But I just couldn't, I feel like I'm awake, but I was just like tired. I just wasn't like focused. Anyway, so there's something about that, about not being aware of like, where you're going, or not it felt more of an energy of not taking charge, like rambling, wandering. Anyway, something like that. So that could be coming through to you or stand out to you. And then on the way, when I'm running errands, so I noticed that, so when I'm still in this kind of like blasé, you know, just running errands, not really with any like, you know, like just running my everyday errands, not really like, what is it called? Like when you're on autopilot type thing. Except for not really on autopilot. I don't know. Because I'm just a person who's very aware of things when they happen. So it feels like this clarity through like junk, right? That once you know it, and once you see it, or once you know the way things work, you can't like really unsee it. So the only way I can describe is like this virtual like screen that only like you can see and like navigate your way through. Not as if like it's not a maze or anything. It's just like, it's like certain things like pop out to you, stand out to you, or you notice when you focus on something, then that same thing happens in some other way. So it's giving like this cube energies. I was like able to see different sides to something. Like it's like if you took a cube and flipped it around, and like one version you would see something, and then you flip it over, and then you would see like the same thing in another version. So there's something about floors and walls and why is that coming through with the mean girls? Like, and the little birdies and the blah, blah, blah. Like, why? There's something about birds. I don't know what that's happening. Some like small birds navigating like their way through like brush or something. I don't know. I was giving that energy with the giraffe again, and the tongue navigating its way through the thorns. Okay, so like only the birds can like navigate themselves through, like, because here where I live, you get like this bramble like bush. It's like a berry, like a blackberry bush, and they're very like invasive, and they kind of like take over, and they're like this big bramble, right? And you know, you wouldn't be able to like hike through them, walk through them, right, easily, but these birds can just like in and out, and it's probably like a beautiful haven in there for them. Something like that coming through. But here's an example of that like virtual like screen that just like things just stick out. So this could be like happening for you or happen to you. I feel like this could be like a small collective that notice specific things. Maybe you notice something different, or there's like a specific just like specific to you, but like here's some specific stuff that happens to me. So like I was on, you know, running the errand, and then I noticed a Jeep. It was a black Jeep, and I've seen this Jeep before, and I'm kind of like in that daze, like that state. Not really a daze, because you know I'm driving and I know what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of like, my mind is very clear. Okay, I'm not really thinking of anything. I'm just getting to my destination. I noticed, you know, ahead of me, this black Jeep, and on the black Jeep is, I have this in my notes, the Punisher symbol. I don't know if you noticed the Punisher, you know what the Punisher is like. It looks like a skull type face, and it's on the back side of the Jeep. okay, and it's like pretty big, and I just notice it. I see this Jeep all the time, but for some reason, I think it's because it was in front of me. I was focused on it. So we're driving, we continue driving. Actually, this Jeep is going the same place I'm headed. Actually, the same exact place I was headed. Anyway, so I noticed that Jeep, and then, like, I don't know, a few streets down, actually, as I'm following this Jeep, right? So we get to the intersection. There's an intersection. That one stops. It's like a four-way stop. He's in front of me. He crosses the intersection. So I'm stopped. And then this white Jeep comes from I don't know why this is relevant. It's like something about this cube and the sides. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Maybe it makes more sense to you than it does to me. But so from the other side, it's a white Jeep. And on the side of him, okay, so like maybe I should draw. So like the Punisher would be like the back. Here's the face of the Punisher in the back of the Jeep, okay? Like if this was a Jeep. And then, yeah. But then on the white Jeep that went across the intersection, it was making a left turn. I don't know, but there was a huge face of the Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas. And the Punisher, so it was a black Jeep, the Punisher face was white. And then the white Jeep, the Nightmare Before Christmas face was black. I don't know why these things are relevant. I don't know what they mean. Maybe it has something to do with like our reality and how it's like formed, or noticing. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not gonna pretend that I do, because I don't. But it's giving that energy of like why this is turned on its side. Why this hourglass is turned on its side. And then when I said hourglass, because I'm a word person, it sounds like hour, not as in time, but like in hours, like belonging to glass. I don't know. Hourglass. This could have something to do with like perfect timing, could have something to do with direction. We have weight here, and there's fire here coming from the sword. I want to read the weight card for you. I feel like I wanted to keep this reading short, you know, but it just have to do me, right? And now, hold on. There's something else coming through. So like this morning also, and I took note of this too, but I almost forgot about it. Just something about like this forgetting and remembering also coming through. So when I was in that daze, like even before I took off to the store, so this is like a little while after being up, I was enjoying my coffee in the living room. And I guess I'm sitting there talking to my child, and they have a black sweater on, and I'm like, is that the same sweater you wore yesterday? And they were like, no. They were being like sarcastic. Being sarcastic in like a silly way, just because I was questioning. Maybe they're annoyed because I was just, you know, it's none of my business. They wear whatever they want to wear. But they were just being sarcastic, like, I don't know, just silly fun. And they said, no, this is my Adidas sweater. Which it wasn't the Adidas sweater. It was their Nike sweater. Okay, and mind you, this is a black sweater. So, and it was just very like a dumb, random joke. Just randomness. I don't know what this is, but so on the way to running errands, we're all in the car, and I notice to the side of me, it would be like my right side, crossing from the opposite. So here we're driving this way, and this person's walking this way. Okay, so there's something about walks too. So you could be noticing things on your walks, synchronistic type things. But they're wearing a black Adidas sweater. And the reason I know that they're wearing a black Adidas sweater is because the Adidas symbol is so huge, kind of like those faces that I was talking about on the Jeeps. They were so big, right? And the sweater was black and white. The Adidas symbol was white, and the person's sweater was black. Okay. So there's some, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh, right. We just went straight to it. Sorry. I feel like I'm having trouble talking here. So we have wait. Your situation is going to require a little patience. Your angels are not saying no, but they're saying not yet. Sometimes heaven needs a little extra time to make all the pieces fall perfectly into place. Oh, wow. That's kind of weird. Feels like this cube, right? Like noticing one thing on one side, and then on the other side of the cube noticing something else and flipping it, and then something else appears, and flipping that, and something else appears. I don't know. It says, so what you're asking for may have effect on the lives of others. When that occurs, it can take additional preparation to make sure that everyone's needs are seen to. Be patient so that all who are involved can have the experience they're meant to have. Oh, that's very interesting. Super, super interesting. Can have the experience you're going to have. This also feels like somebody like catching up to you because of your energy. Like you are some kind of like vantage point, some kind of vantage point that you have, okay, and they're just not quite there yet. They're more like this versus like this. Okay, so I don't know. There's something like that. It feels like a growing up to do. So this could have something to do with a child. This could have something to do with just maturing in general. Something like that. Like, and then the buses coming off with the smaller buses versus the larger bus. So it's like only so many can fit where maybe you're headed somewhere, maybe only so many, so there's not room for everybody right now. So there's something like that. Okay. And there's something also I took notes about, like a light or like a red flame, some kind of like fire. It feels like root and sacral chakra, like red and orange together, the root and sacral chakra. Okay, so the root and sacral is coming off as like feeling safe, grounded, and ready to move into some kind of like creative energy, something that you're creating for yourself. And I feel like it feels like you're ready to experience something, but they're like pieces that are coming together for you. Okay. And it's up to you. So there's something about like even choosing, right? Not to be asking like, So there's also like, yeah, with the perfect timing coming through, it's like, trusting in perfect timing, knowing the situation will improve, knowing that whatever you're doing for yourself is going to come about, right? That it really is all up to you to believe, right? And trust. Okay, so there's something, and I feel like that's part of your whatever this learning to trust yourself, okay, is. So learning to trust, yeah. It feels like somebody is like, I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. Like, I knew it. Something like that. Or like knowing something. Okay, you could have even recently like had some kind of dream. And then, I don't know, so went about your day and something popped up like synchronistically or proved to you something. Okay, so it's like, maybe it feels like waiting for others, loved ones, to catch up with your energy, because I feel like you're headed somewhere so like vibrationally high, okay, and you want these people to experience it with you. So it's kind of feels like waiting for all the pieces to come together. Something like that. Why did my voice do that? So like even could be like someone going through like, I want to say like puberty. What is that? Like someone's voice could be changing. So it just says my man, my baby, my baby, my man, my baby. Something. What is that song? Yeah. So it could literally be about to communicate clearly. That's what Spirit's saying. To communicate clearly. Okay. Get clear with your communication, what you're communicating, what you're speaking. And I feel like getting clear is like peace. It kind of feels like that energy that like I was flowing through this morning. Like I had no care in the world. I wasn't worried. I was just going through. Like I wasn't questioning things. I mean, I was a little lost like for some reason in the grocery store. You know, we're in a situation I shouldn't have been. I just turned down the wrong aisle because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, something like that. But it's about like clarity. And seeing things for, these could be like emotional things, or like it could be like, yeah, the way you communicate with others, the way you use your gift. Maybe it's a special gift of yours. You could work with your hands. You could work with, so there's something about sign language also coming through. Reiki coming through. Money coming through. I don't know, something that somebody does for a living. Something like that. There's something about jewelry also coming through. The crown and third eye, both the crown and third eye chakra, like coming through. So something that you do or chosen to do, or maybe you're even waiting to do this, or you just do this now, but it's like there's something about something that you do that's very nourishing. So this has something to do with communication with other people, or connection with other people. So this could be like, you could be a singer. I'm getting like, there's like karaoke too coming through here. I don't know why. There's also something about blonde that has been coming through like the last two readings. There's something about a blonde coming through. Yeah, I'm getting like Reiki, healing hands, energy. The heart chakra, there's something about like the heart space coming through. And like some kind of like talent. It almost feels like some kind of like magic wand. It could be like the words you speak, and you could be very magical with your words, or things just are very magical when you use words. You know the power of your words, or like the power of your voice. Okay, something like that also coming through. And then I'm seeing like a heart symbol. It's right here, the heart with the peace sign in it. So to be being at peace within your heart, or in some kind of like heart space. And I feel like a lot of it comes from like learning to trust yourself. Okay, and I think I'm going to end it here because this has been so long already. But thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you made it to the end of this video. If you did, leave me an emoji or leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you guys. It just tickles me so much that you know, you guys leave me messages and comments. I just so appreciate it so much, and it does help out my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you choose to come back. Bye.